Welcome to the Chasing Ebenezer show. This is a show where we talk about stuff, play you some music, and encourage you to be creative. This season, we are exploring the art of being human. We want to say thank you to our patrons who support us each month. If you want to know more about that, visit us on patreon.com/Chasing Ebenezer. For more information about our musical endeavors, visit chasingebenezer.com. We hope you enjoy the show.
Well, it's a hot summer day, and we're here to say hello. I hope you're surviving wherever you're at in the hot world right now.
Yes.
So
it really seems to be hot everywhere, except yesterday it was like 50 some degrees in Newport because there was fog.
But you weren't there.
I wasn't, so I was very jealous of Newport.
This is Heidi and Benjamin, who's particularly opposed to hot weather.
I am not fond of hot weather at all.
So, by the way, drinking my favorite flavor of sparkling water, Polar's Orange Vanilla is the best one. So if you ever are looking to a gift to give us, like a truck of these, it would be awesome.
Yes. Yes.
So, favorite flavor. Boom.
And I'm being the walking contradiction and drinking hot coffee on a hot summer day.
There you go.
Because that's what I do. Welcome to the Chasing Ebenezer show, everybody. This is season 3, and we still have not plumbed the depths of being human.
It's season 3.
It's still
I don't
season 3.
know what season we're on.
We don't even know what year it is.
I mean, we call them seasons, but it's like it could last another year. I don't know. Until we're done with it.
Yes,
so we're still
exactly.
human, and we hope that you
Very,
still
very
are
human.
as well.
I'll say thank you so much to our patrons for your support.
I was just looking. We have a nice little stockpile of funds in there for our album that we'll have done before we're 50.
Yes.
So,
yes.
So yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
It's definitely helping us so that we can make the project that we've begun to
talk about.
We've done a lot of talking first.
Yeah.
We've been practicing the songs
We
too.
have.
It's not like we're doing nothing, but
no.
And you've been working quite a bit with your software,
recording
software.
I
Because
have.
the goal is
learning how to
do
that.
Yeah, because this time. The goal
is
in order to save funds.
The goal in order to
use
save funds
giving well.
and use your giving well is to record as much of it ourselves as we can while having a very quality record. So yeah, it's going to be slow at the beginning here. Yes.
But you're learning really quickly.
Yeah,
so
we've got some stuff that I'm working on that, as I feel like it's worth sharing, I'll let you know about.
Yeah.
So excited. What are you excited about?
Well, I'm excited that I've started playing ukulele, and I'm going to be teaching the kids at my church to play. So if you have a ukulele laying around that can stay in tune and you'd like to donate that,
stay in tune is the key word.
Yeah, because there's those that the minute you touch it falls apart, the tuning. So yeah, I know that people tend sometimes to have those around. So if you have one and you like to donate it, we would really appreciate that. So I'm excited about that. It might feel kind of weird to say that I'm excited about reading this book. I'm finally reading Colson Whitehead's Underground Railroad. Very painful. I had to just put it down last week, but so excited. I don't know if that's the right word, but just really appreciating his writing. Very tasteful yet really painful. So I don't know if excited is the right word, but you're reading.
I just started reading The Parable of the Sower last night.
By Octavia Butler.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm going to read that next.
And I'm not a fiction guy. Like, fiction is a discipline for me. I can read books on theology. I can read poetry. Fiction, I feel like I've accomplished a great thing when I read one of those books.
I feel the opposite. I feel like fiction, like la la la.
But the second I started reading The Parable of the Sower, it was like I was hooked. So
you like science fiction a lot.
I love science fiction. Science fiction.
Oh yeah, and I got another painting just about done, so that's fun. I found this. I've been looking for this art board stuff, so I finally found what I was looking for.
I just love the sky so much on that. I like it all, but I really like the sky.
Thank you. Some of it happened accidentally.
Most things creatively do.
Okay.
What am I excited about? I'm obviously excited about reading The Parable of the Sower. I'm excited that trio portion of Chasing Ebenezer gets to play at the old church in McMenamins on Saturday. I'm really excited about that because I've wanted to play that venue for a long time, and this is the year. So looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to having band practice tonight. More immediate things I'm excited about. I have definitely been feeling my humanity lately. We haven't done, this is like one of the first full shows I think we've done this month.
I think it's the only show we've recorded.
Yeah, it's the only show.
We've been a little derailed.
So let me tell you about my journey of humanity this month. The first thing that happened was I lost another car to COVID. No, it wasn't COVID. It was a hill that I lost it to. We lost another car, and then had to go buy another car. Which, for anyone who's been in that situation, knows that definitely makes you feel frail and vulnerable and stressed out all at the same time. So I've been feeling my humanity there, and I've been feeling my humanity in just the season we're in. You know, we've been exposed to COVID a couple times and have had to just be extra mindful lately. So, did I take all of yours?
Oh, I can always find more reasons to be human. I was just really hot yesterday, so couldn't do much.
Yeah.
Because I was like, ugh. So, I also appreciate just being able to make changes in life. I was reading something this morning that I tend to think, oh, well, this is just the way I am.
Say more words, please.
Well, it's like we can say, well, that's just the way I am. I'm destined for this forever. Well, I mean, okay, I can't be taller. I'm not going to grow anymore. Not up. So that I can't change. But things like being just things that I'm not good at or bad at, it can be a worldview. But nope, there's many areas that you can change in. So, learning to drink water rather than Diet Coke all the time. Because that's my favorite. So just part of being human is the openness to change. Well, that's what we're going to talk about today, actually. But you can either resist change or be open to change.
That's
so it's
good.
kind of like the invitation. Like,
yeah.
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
I'm on my second can. Ice cold.
What changes excite you, and what kind of changes tend to paralyze you or cause you a sense of dread?
If it's a change I like, I'm excited. If it's a change I don't like it.
Okay, then we can just end the show now. We've got this.
I mean, that's the basis of it. But yeah, if it's like, oh, here you won this awesome pizza at a restaurant. Oh, great change. If it's someone wants to talk to you and someone's upset with you and doesn't like this, then you need to do something about it. I think that any change, even if it's a good change, like let's say it's a new job or maybe even something you want, at some point it still is a change, and so you have to adjust, and so every change still has this frustration at some point, even if it's a good change, I think.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, there's like the instant changes, like the free pizza, as you said.
I don't know.
Which doesn't require much of you.
Oh yeah, you don't have to do much.
You don't have to do much, and you get all the benefits.
Yeah,
so I mean, that's my favorite kind of change. I love that kind of change.
If it's something like an event or something that I was really tired about and it gets canceled, I'm usually happy about that.
Yeah.
But still, even so, I feel guilty. We were talking about this
on Sunday. Yeah.
That we had to not do our regular work
on Sunday morning.
We thought we might have COVID.
Mm-hmm. And our bodies have been so wired to the routine of being on that when we couldn't be on, our body didn't get the memo.
It's
apparently,
like, wait, I'm supposed to be somewhere.
I was so anxious. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy how that kind of thing happens. Yeah, I tend to like changes that don't require a lot for me, because even like good things, like if I get an instrument, I just have to go pick it up. I'm okay with that. But like, for example, our internet is being upgraded to fiber optic, which has required a whole lot of calling, communicating, scheduling. that kind of disruption just bugs me and makes me tired, and I don't really feel like doing it because I can still use my internet now and I don't get much of the payoff. So I don't know.
Once it's settled, then
then I'm happy.
I think it's the multi-step process to get to things.
I just don't like multi-step. I hate it. I'm like, just just drop it from the sky. I'm great with that kind of change, but most change really isn't like that. I know the kind of changes that I do get stressed about are the ones where I have planned for something and it doesn't go that way. Like, let's say you do an event and you're anticipating a certain number of people and only 5 show up, which has been our life before. And sometimes still is and will be later on. You know, that kind of change causes paralysis because I'm wrestling with, one, did I do everything I could to ensure, did I do everything on my end to make the event successful? Now that it's not, do I draw more attention to the fact that it's a small number of people? So when I have to regroup and recalibrate and then go, that kind of change tends to paralyze me a lot.
I don't do well when the seasons change.
Really?
At all. At all. Like, even though it's really hot, I'm going to be stressed out when fall comes. And then there's something about the change that just, my whole body is, don't do it.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't do well.
I'm trying to think about that with me. I don't mind the seasons changing. It's the temperature changing to hotter that I don't like.
So there's certain temperatures.
There's certain temperatures I don't like. Yeah.
But as humans, we get in this rhythm of doing things, and that's why the past couple of years, one of the reasons it's been so hard is because everything keeps changing.
Yeah.
With the pandemic, everything keeps changing. Open, close, shut down, no, blah, 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 blah. And so even though sometimes it's been difficult to get into a new, okay, now we're doing this thing and we're trying this thing, then you just kind of get a sense of, okay, we're making this work, and then something changes again.
It kind of has felt like, that game, Red Light, Green Light?
Oh, yes!
That's what life has felt like the past 2 years, only the person with the red light, green light microphone doesn't work super well, so you can't really tell if you're supposed to stop and change or not.
And so it's just, it's kind of like have you ever moved your garbage can and put it in a new spot when it's been in the same spot for a really long time, but you keep going to the old spot to throw something away, and then where's my Oh yeah, I moved it. And so our brains we just get used to these rhythms. So,
well, and the harder thing is if it's really early in the morning and you have dump your coffee into the garbage ritual, and you forget that the garbage.
Have you done that?
No, but
you're just making up.
I'm making up a for instance because I could see that happening with one of us doing that. So. And
yet we also get bored too, and so we like change if it's something we want.
If it's on our terms.
So we're just really difficult.
We like self-imposed change. That's a good point.
Yeah.
So. And change is a part of being human. Change is in the rhythm of nature. It's in the rhythm of creation. We age. Our relationships change.
Except for me.
Well, of course, you're ageless.
I act like a child still.
So, obviously change is a good thing. So, but we're also created to be in a rhythm and a routine. So when does routine become a rut and change is necessary?
Why don't you tell us? That might be something for each person to think about if you're journaling.
Right. My initial response is that if I'm wanting to get to Alaska, I'm not going to get there by going in circles around the neighborhood.
When it inhibits growth. Sometimes having that rhythm and practices and discipline, they're inhibiting growth, or love. If your rhythm or your whatever you're calling it is keeping you from growing or from loving other people, then that's probably a good time to.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that's a really good question for everyone to ask themselves.
Well, and I think we all know is not the definition of insanity or chaos. Doing the same thing over and over again, and expecting us to, things to go differently. That's what my therapist.
I had someone say that to me yesterday.
Oh yeah? Well, my therapist said to me a while back, about she wanted me to change something or do something differently. And that's hard. And she's like, well, how's the last, I don't know, 40 years gone? You're here seeing me. You're in therapy. So clearly the way you've been doing it isn't working. So, you know.
Yeah.
Ben says I have to keep my mouth shut from now because he wants to give you an oratory. Go ahead. You have more to say on the subject, and I will not say a word. That'll be a change.
I can cut all this. This is easy.
No! Don't cut me. Do not cut me out. Speak.
So if your rhythm isn't producing love or love or growth, then that's when change needs to happen. I think we can also get into a rut where change is something that we're doing all the time because we're not getting an instant result. So we try one diet for a week and it doesn't work, and then we go on a binge. We try to learn an instrument, and because we're not good at it in 2 weeks, we stop and try to learn another one. We read a book, and because we're no longer getting the warm, fuzzy feeling from reading the book, we switch to another one. So we never really get a chance to cultivate a rhythm long enough to see if it produces change. So that's like one way where I see where changing all the time is a bad thing. Are there any other ways where change can be unhealthy for people?
I was focused on not saying a word, so I will.
You may speak now, honey.
I'll speak whenever I want. Thank you. I agree with what you said, that if we don't see, we're still on Weight Watchers.
We are
given up. I haven't given up, and slowly. So that I would say, yeah, I think what you said was good, and I think when we don't assess if it's affecting the people in our lives, that can be a problem. Like, especially family or the people we live with or we work closely with. If we make major changes and don't inform them or ask for their feedback.
Yeah, that's another bad. Probably not the best choice. Terrible idea.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one too. So it's like both we have to evaluate our rhythms and how they're affecting our relationship. We also have to evaluate our changes and how they affect relationship. I think that's both really, really important.
Well, a really hard question. Oh.
So you get to answer.
I'm feeling painful already thinking about it. And we've done this before, because I think either in like marriage classes or coaching or reading, it's like if you ask the other person what's something that I could change that would make you feel more loved, or it's so painful. It's so painful to ask because there's gonna be something. So don't ask it if you're not really willing to hear it. And if you're being asked, there's ways to say things.
And there's ways not to say things, apparently.
So, you got to be ready, but that can be an important question.
That's really good
to ask.
Change and creativity. Let's talk about that. When is change good for creativity, and when maybe is it not so good?
Well, I think we've talked about this recently, when you get stuck, sometimes just working on a new project, go working in a different spot can absolutely help.
Yep.
I think that it can be good to just listen to different things, to read different things than what you do. It's interesting because I generally don't play jazz music or I don't sing Latin choral music. But the things that I listen to are very different than the style of music that I play.
Yeah.
So I don't tend to listen to as much of the style that we play or that I write. But listening to something different than you do, it totally can just influence somehow and get you out of the rut and grow. So...
Yeah. No, that's really true, and that's a very encouraged thing to do. And I'm starting to do the same thing, listening to other styles of music, because I'm curious how it'll affect how I write.
Yeah,
because it does. I mean, my friend Ramsey really has gotten me liking hip hop, which is not a genre I used to really resonate with, and now I really like it a lot. And listening to kind of the programming and the production quality and the poetry in it is really, I'm seeing it from a whole different lens, which is super helpful. I know for me, change is really good because as an artist, I can get stuck in tunnel vision with a project or with a song, and I have a way that I know it's supposed to be in my head. And sometimes that's right, but sometimes when your other bandmates, I can't point at my drummer, he's not here, but when they point out, hey, well, this feels really cluttered here. What if you didn't strum as much? What if you took out the words to your verses? And I'm like, that's the sound.
But I watch you. You're like, I can tell
I can tell that's she sees my brain physically break.
Resisting it, but you're trying so hard to be open to.
But yeah, because it's a discipline. I have to choose to be that way. But I know that my brain all of a sudden is like, oh, eventually I come around to it. It just takes a few minutes for me to catch up, and the song is so much better as a result of that, listening to the feedback of others. So that's a very helpful thing.
So we're going to give you some prompts and also some things that I'm trying to remember is that, especially in the last 2 years, the world's changed and people have changed. So if there's people we haven't seen in a while, they've probably changed. So if you haven't seen someone in a while, just be aware of that. They've changed. We've changed. Mm-hmm. Don't expect them to maybe be in the same spot that they were. So that's just a good reminder for me because we are starting to see people we haven't seen in a while. And it's okay if you've changed too. This is just part of the human story. So just, it's okay. It's okay. We gotta be gracious to each other, to ourselves, and to each other.
That's really good.
And let's give them some prompts.
Okay.
Do you have any?
I needed some time to think.
Okay,
so I'll let you go first.
So one of the really famous song that's on the oldies station is by the Byrds, Turn, 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 which is based on that chapter. It's based on a chapter in Ecclesiastes of the Old Testament. That's a great passage to read, to create something out of. Maybe make something that's based on the different seasons. I was also thinking about you could create something based on the timeline of your life and the change. So whether it's a painting, a poem, a story, really just looking at the timeline of your life and the different changes, that could be really reflective and
it's good.
Yeah.
Well, and so my prompt's a little similar, is to take an inventory of your rhythms and your practices and your routines, your day-to-day routines. And then ask yourself this hard question and pray about this question. What is it that you really want with what you're doing? And then look at your rhythms and routines and ask the question, is that going to get me there? And is that loving people? And then maybe you'll need to make some changes. So that mine's more of a journaling thinking prompt. So that's mine. The song that we're going to do is an older song. It's one we did when we used to play under a different band name. It's called Runaway, and I'm going to play it on the charango. Hope you enjoy it. We love you, and we'll see you soon.
We've made. How did we come to this? I was perfect, look good in the shade. Why'd you shine your light on this? How long till you forget my name? skin. Hide so long instead of letting you in. Make you wonder what you've missed. How long till you forget my name? How long till you run away? I could be gone before daylight breaks, before you see my face. Your warm hands hold me in place. Tell me this will never end. How long will you run after me? How long will you run after me? Look at all the